Broker Bulletin acknowledges the traditional custodians of all the lands across the country on which we record our podcast and pays its respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Welcome to the Broker Bulletin podcast, where better begins. Join us as we chat with brokers about what's working for them, what drives them, and the real challenges and wins that matter most right now.
Suzi, thank you for joining us. We're so honoured to have you here and actually being on the front of a mic. I feel like you're always behind the scenes of everything and planning everything. So got you on the front of a mic. Yeah. I'm really happy about it.
I know. I'm in the hot seat actually this morning. I just really wanted to thank you girls because obviously off the back of the Leading Ladies retreat, I love that you were so curious and wanted to run these podcast sessions. So we thought, why wouldn't we do it for International Women's Day? So I think it's fantastic to see you girls interviewing some of our business owners and getting a perspective from a business owner to a business owner. So thank you so much for obviously bringing the idea up with me as well.
We're just so inspired by everything that you've built because Leading Ladies is your baby. And how did it come about? What made you decide that you wanted to bring Leading Ladies to life? A bit of Leading Ladies history, I guess, which we'll probably go into.
We're now going into our 10th year of Leading Ladies, which is really incredible. So we actually started Leading Ladies before there was a name called Leading Ladies in Melbourne.
No way.
So when I joined the loan market business in 2008, I think there was about 4 or 5 females actually in loan market Victoria who are actually business owners. So Sarah Thompson, Sandra Malia, Sherry McGregor was another lady, she retired. And there was me in the corporate team, so I joined as a BDM for loan market in aggregation. So there was just not many women in the industry at all, let alone in the loan market family. So yeah, we just started to do little catch-ups and we started to do little get-togethers and little wine nights, and then we started to attract more females into the loan market family. We just really started to grow the Leading Ladies initiative, particularly in Victoria, because obviously I was based in Victoria as well. Then we had Ange McNaughton who came across, she was CEO of Ray White, and then she came over to be our state manager or state director of loan market, and the baby of Leading Ladies was born off the back of that. So then we've progressively grown that over the course of the years. So we're now sitting at over 3,000
that is
business owners,
awesome.
loan writers and client service managers who are female,
So
which is about 39% of LMG having female representation. So it's about 800 business owners, 1,200 loan writers or brokers. So it really is phenomenal. And when you look at the trend in the industry sitting at roughly 26 or 27%, when you see the stats from MFAA and FBAA, the fact that we've actually grown it to, I'll take away the client service managers, it's really close to 30% representation of Leading Ladies within LMG. And if I look at some of the other states, if I look at WA, they're sitting at 44% of business owners in the Leading Ladies community. So it is absolutely huge. So I'm really proud of what we've achieved. We're obviously one of the first Leading Ladies communities in the industry and in aggregation. So I think the feedback I get not only from brokers from other aggregators, but particularly from aggregators themselves and lenders is we've really paved the way for female community in the industry. So really absolutely proud of that.
Yeah. And as part of the Leading Ladies initiative, you have a great name, which I'm sure everyone knows your job title, but can you tell us for the podcast?
Yeah. So look, I guess I wear a number of hats. Yeah. So I started obviously in loan market in 2008. So I came in as I guess, a aggregator BDM and did everything really because we were really such a small business. I did everything from training to induction to doing manual accreditations because nothing was automated. We had to fill out this whole pack to get brokers into the business. From there, I was really a generalist role where you did everything. And then as sort of time moved on and as the business got bigger, I actually naturally steered towards the sales element and then really got into growth and recruitment. And there was only a couple of us around the States sort of doing recruitment. And then about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I did get sort of promoted into sort of a head of a national director role. So one thing was managing brokers, but then managing sales team is really different once again. So plus also managing the talent force team, which is our in-house talent acquisition team as well. So that's been managing over 14 people And salespeople, because salespeople are really driven, really ambitious, really different personalities. So
Absolutely.
really trying to bring out the best in different people and seeing them succeed as well. So yeah, so that's been phenomenal learnings for me as a leader, and I guess leading teams as well, which I think that helped, having led broker businesses and helping them find people and redefining their processes and how they did business, sort of put me in good stead then when I was learning to be obviously a sales leader as well. And we'll hear from Ange McNaughton a little bit later as well, but she was actually my direct lead, and she really taught me a lot about leadership, leading people, backing myself. So she's been a really big inspiration and a mentor and a coach. And even though she has left the LMG corporate team and starting her own business, I still get guided by her as well along the way. So she's really there for great advice. And if I need, an opinion. And so I'm really excited to hear from Ange a little bit later as well. Yeah. And then obviously being El Presidente of the Leading Ladies is, one of my, really achievements that probably I love more than anything, and seeing new young female business owners, and really any female business owner really thriving, hearing your stories as well really inspires me as the Presidente, and of all the challenges and your journeys and how you all started from being, client service managers to loan processors to being loan writers within businesses, then to actually taking, that risk and that chance of running your own business, and hearing all the success stories is really quite heartwarming and profound for me. And that really makes me tick, as well as obviously the Presidente and a female in the industry as well, I think, more importantly. And that hasn't come without support of the men in the business as well.
Yes,
like the feedback I get from the loan market leading lads is like how incredible the community that we've built along the way. And a lot of our females have the males as mentors as well. So I think when you bring that all together, the inclusivity and the diversity that we have of not only being females, but having the men alongside us and being our mentors as well.
They stand by us and they really support us. And
they're so proud. Like, all the men I talk to go, wow, Suzi, what you've done with Leading Ladies. And that's really started from the top with Sam White, who was one of the first who said, like, yeah, let's do this. And I like to call him a leading lady as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's a leading lady.
I'm really proud, and I think that I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Leading Ladies and for LMG. So it's just such an instrumental community to be a part of, best aggregator out there by far. And it's more just like it's a family. And I think that the transparency and the willingness to give, everybody has this initiative that they really want to pass on what they've learnt, and no one's like, I'm not going to tell you anything and figure it out for yourself. I've never had that, and I think that's so important no matter who I talk to in LMG, and that's something that I will always be grateful for and will always keep me here and advocating for it.
And I think that's what makes us a really fantastic group, like a family culture, being a family-owned business, having our communities. Like that's what we stand for, not only for LMG, but I think for the industry as well.
Even as it's grown, even obviously from loan market to LMG.
I remember it was baby little loan market.
It says a lot.
Like and I've been with the group for 18 years, and I don't know what I would do without the LMG family and our Leading Ladies community. It's really been quite a transformation, I think, over the years, particularly in the last 5 years as well.
Curious, in your 18 years that you've been with Loan Market, what's been your favourite role?
I think my favourite role has been growth and recruitment. I just love actually meeting new people in the industry. I love attracting people to the Loan Market family because I do deeply believe our different service plan cater for different business styles, different people. I think we're a really good home for people who want to be surrounded around peers and community and learn from each other. So for me, that growth role and recruitment has really been passionate for me to be able to say, hey, Kobe, I really love you to be part of Loan Market. And I've reached out to plenty of ladies on their socials who I think who have been with other groups and said, I really love what you're doing. I really would love you to be part of Loan Market. So that's probably one of my really passions around that sales, recruitment, growth. I've actually loved leading teams as well. That's, I guess, on par for me as well, because that's been a really big learning curve for me and really a big part of my leadership and who I am now as a leader, not only in work, but certainly in life as well. So I think it teaches you some skills outside of that, particularly handling situations that might be a little bit heated.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So just really learning all those skills in leadership that then you can reflect on in your personal life as well has been a big one. And I'll always say El Presidente of
Absolutely,
is my favorite role. Like, absolutely.
It's our favorite role, of course.
Absolutely.
That's what we see you as.
In terms of that growth aspect and what you find that you've seen in the last 18 years of seeing people grow their businesses, what have you, from your experience, have you seen that separates brokers that thrive from those that plateau?
Great question.
Yeah, that's a really awesome question. There's probably a couple. I think people try to do things themselves. So I think they get to a point where they're building their business, they're chasing their tail. I see a lot of ups and downs sort of along that journey. So it's really making that investment to put on that first person to help them in their business, because you do get to a certain point in your business where you just can't grow when you're on your own.
So and you burn out as well.
You get burnout, you can't grow, you can't take your business to the next level, you can't meet new referrers, you can't prospect, you're working 15-hour days. So it's really the biggest mistake I've seen is people putting on someone too late versus too early. So if I was to give anyone any advice, it would be putting on that first support person, whether it's onshore or offshore. Now we have so many great opportunities and so many options available to how people can support your business. So that would be my sort of biggest learning I've seen amongst business owners. The second one is when people put on staff, and I think you mentioned it in one of your interviews, Maddie, is when they're not the right fit, not letting them go soon enough. That can really hamper your business, because the recruitment process, from finding someone to teaching them to coaching them to then
not being the right fit,
and extending that, it costs you a lot of money and
Mm-hmm.
it sort of takes your business back versus growing your business forward. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to have a hard conversation with someone and say, look, this is probably not the right fit for me. So it's really making that decision early, moving on and getting that right person. So, and from my experience, you'll find that person really wasn't happy and it wasn't probably the right role for them as well. Yeah. So that's why I love our talent force, where we do all that hard work for you as well. So that's probably the second biggest learning I've had. And probably the third one has been lead gen and prospecting. All good brokers prospect daily.
Yeah.
So if you look at all the top businesses, and particularly even in the LMG family, top brokers will always allocate an hour of their day to contact new referrers, existing referrers.
I found that.
Outbound calling.
It's a massive low market thing. I've just in low market franchises.
So it's just filling your funnel, your top funnel of people. So, and I know brokers who write 300 mil a year, but will still absolutely allocate 1 hour per day of their time to prospecting, because that keeps feeding your funnel as well. And meeting your referrers. And even if you've got referrers who maybe not have given you a deal in 3 months or 6 months, why is that? So just really reconnecting with those people in your circle of influence and finding out, hey, what's stopped? Because I know you guys get busy. And the first thing that goes is that communication and that energy that you put into building those referral relationships, because you are so busy working on the day-to-day, servicing your clients. As opposed to obviously keeping in contact with your referrers. So that's probably the third sort of biggest thing I've seen that separates the good from the great, so to speak.
And I suppose with saying that, brokers, we wear a lot of hats, and part of it is almost a BDM role where you have to be getting in that business and servicing them. And that's a huge part that lots of people probably underlook a little bit when they're starting and don't realize that they have to be doing that as well.
They do, absolutely. And when you're first starting out, I know that can be really difficult because you're wearing a lot of hats. You're starting out, you've joined, you've started your own business. You might have come from a bank and had everything done for you. And now all of a sudden you've taken that leap to become a business owner. So you're doing induction, you're doing accreditation, you're setting your processes, you're trying to find referrals, you're trying to find clients. It's a lot to it. So it annoys me when you said the barrier is really low to get into the industry. So I get a lot of inquiry, people coming in and wanting to learn about loan market, and they think they've dealt with a mortgage broker. They may have 10 investment properties. They know all about lending and they think they can do it. And it really is not that simple.
It really isn't.
It's really not that straightforward. So I guess teaching someone the fundamentals of running a business and how they're going to do it. So yeah, it's a big one.
You can also be a really good broker and not a strong business owner.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's no harm. I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
The best thing I've ever done is just realize my limitations and where I'm not strong in. I'm really strong in, probably similar to you, in prospecting and in lead generation.
Yeah.
Processes I hate implementation. So I outsource implementation. Outsource your, I think that's the same thing when we were talking about with Jordan. And I was like, if you're not strong in social media, don't play to your strengths.
Yeah, don't do it.
And outsource the things you're not strong in. Don't try and get better at it.
There's so many options now. And particularly if you come on our loan market or our partner plan, a lot of these external resources, they're available to you. So that's why we've got these fantastic models that really cater for people who maybe want to focus on a mortgage broker. Let us take away some of that hard work, whether it's your socials, whether it's your process improvement.
Focus on the broking side and what you're good at.
And you're right, like we see it all the time. And, we're doing a lot of work around, there's one thing being a broker, but then there's another thing being a business owner and being a leader within your business as well. So now we're really starting to focus on teaching really strong leaderships to, to business owners who never probably had to lead a team before, started on their own, put their first person on, but now are really growing bigger teams. So how do I become a better leader? It's better for retention. How do I mentor my people? How do I keep them in my business as well? And that all really stems back down to leadership and the type of person and leader you are within your business as well. Yeah,
I agree.
Rapid fire with Suzi.
I love it. I kind of feel like I'm in the hot seat with these two fab leading ladies.
I'm learning so much.
Yes. All right. What's your coffee order?
My coffee order is I start my morning off with the Turkish coffee, which is a really short black with mud down the bottom. So my background is from the Balkans and we grew up with his coffee. So that was my first coffee for the day to kickstart my morning, right? That. It's whoa. And then I do love a skinny flat white. I used to drink 8 or 9 coffees, but now I'm down to 2 or 3. Well, that's a lot. When you're on the road, you're doing meetings, you've got big days, like the caffeine, really, you need the caffeine. So, but look, I've really cut out my caffeine intake now. I only have a couple, 2 or 3 a day now, which is probably healthier too.
I actually have a side question from Quickfire. What does a week look like for you, or even a day? Because it's so different.
It is really different.
Always in a different state, and I feel like you're always flying. So what does a week or a day
I'm
even
grounded
look like
at the moment. So, look, it just really varies from week to week. So normally Monday is an office day. We're all in the corporate office. We have our corporate meetings, team meetings as well. We'll do sort of a wrap up of, who's joining us as well, who to expect that's joining us as well. I like to have a bit of a chat when I'm in the office on a Monday, so I can be a bit disruptive when I'm in the office because I like to, talk to everybody and grab a coffee. And obviously we've got the Talent Force team in-house as well. So that's generally Monday. And then it's really doing that, what brokers do, what I was saying earlier around prospecting and lead gen. So it's really allocating an hour or 2 a day to talk to new people about the loan market family. And we get inquiries from a variety of channels. We get people who come inbound. We have people who reach out to us on LinkedIn. We have brokers who refer brokers to us. So there's all sort of different ways we talk to people. Then there's online meetings, then there's face-to-face meetings. There might be some interstate travel as well. We've got some new people in the team as well. So been helping them with some training and some coaching and some mentoring as well. Some leading ladies. So look, I'm on, we've got our leading ladies Instagram page, our Facebook page. So keeping, resharing everything you girls are doing as well. We've got our International Women's Day events coming up. So currently organising our Melbourne event for the 18th. We're also doing a joint Leading Ladies of Loan Market and Leading Ladies of Real Estate wellness series in 3 states as well. So being part of that as well. So the week changes. There'll be corporate things that we're doing. We've got Growth Summit coming up.
So excited.
that.
And one of our friends is speaking. So we're really looking forward to that.
And then we've obviously got our Leading Ladies retreat in October. So then doing all the site visits, locking that down in March as well, so we can send out invitations.
I want the official invite.
So the next couple of months are pretty hectic with lots of things.
Got a lot of events.
Yeah. So
plan.
which is, I think that's why I've been in the business for so long. Every week is really different.
No.
You're bored. Everything changes. You're rolling out new things. You're learning. AI is a big one now.
Yeah.
So just, getting my head around AI and having a play with that. So lots of different things that my day comprises of.
I love that.
Last question. What is something in this industry that no one will say out loud?
Because I've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
Particularly being, one of the first female BDMs actually even in lending and in the industry. So just think about 18 years at Loan Market and then 4 years as a lender BDM. So, 20 odd years in third party mortgage broking, which has been huge. So a lot's changed in how women have been treated and portrayed in our industry, as I think sometimes in the past women were sort of seen as this novelty of women in a male-dominated industry. So I think that has really started to shift and really started to change on how we are seen as females, as business owners. And I think that's still, you still see.
We've still got a bit of way to go.
So
we do.
We've absolutely still got, we've come a really long way.
Yeah.
But I still think there's still a long way for us to go as females in financial services, particularly third party. So I still think that's sort of something that
I agree.
is swept under the table a little bit.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree. I've experienced it. I think every woman has.
Yeah. And I think, people think because you're female, I know I had to work a lot harder being a female lender BDM because I was sort of seen as this, not a trophy, but sort of being one of the first female BDMs that as a female, people thought that, she's a female, she's going to bring the business. But it doesn't really work that way. You've got to really prove yourself, which you shouldn't have to, right?
You should not have to.
I had to prove myself. I had to work longer. I had to work harder. And I remember my first boss, and I thought I was doing a terrific job as a lender BDM. I would be going out, meeting brokers, having coffees with them. But what was happening was I wasn't actually bringing in the business. So something had to shift and something had to change. And my activity was great, but I wasn't getting the conversion. And my boss sort of set me down and said, look, you're doing a great job, but look, we've got to start bringing in the business in the door. So I actually learned to ask for the business 6 months into my lender BDM job. And that's where things started to shift and change. And I started to earn, some brownie points really because I was really upfront and honest with brokers and say, look, really love getting to know you and building a relationship and having a coffee with you, but you need to support me and bring me that business. So
absolutely.
Once I started having those harder conversations with brokers, it all started to shift and it's been an interesting journey. But that's sort of what I would think would be some of the
things not talked about.
Talked about as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
That was so insightful. I learnt a lot and it was
amazing.
We
could chat to you for hours.
I know, but look, this is all about, our female business owners, our leading ladies. And I just wanted to say, look, thank you so much for being curious because I think being curious in business is really important as well, to come out and sort of have this initiative. So I'm really excited as part of International Women's Day and our leading ladies community to roll this out on International Women's Day week and really showcase the fantastic business owners that we do have.
Absolutely.
Within Loan Market and the LMG family. So I just wanted to say thank you, girls. And
thank you.
Really excited to hear the next couple of business owners with sharing their journeys and stories. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. The opportunity.
Thanks for tuning in to Broker Bulletin. We would hate for you to miss an episode. Subscribe to Broker Bulletin in your favourite podcast app. Has this episode been helpful? We'd love you to rate and review us. It'll help us deliver content that's useful to you and help others discover us. If you have great ideas for topics worth tackling or have burning questions you'd like addressed on an upcoming episode, reach out. Links in the show notes. See you next time.